Hello, welcome to another of my monologues, and it's a Sunday morning as I'm recording this, and it'll go out fairly shortly. The day is lovely out there, and I'm looking forward to getting out just for a while. I've been pottering around this morning, doing a bit of meditation, recording a few bits and pieces, looking at emails, answering those, listening to a few WhatsApp messages that have come my way. And I'm now going to smoke my pipe. And what I wanted to say today in today's monologue, the theme really is, isn't it, the weather at the moment is like the old summer, the summers that we used to have. Now, if you're of a certain age, and I am of a certain age, and I know many of my viewers are of a certain age, you'll remember the summers of the 1960s and the 1970s. And we had, and I was there, long, beautiful summers. Now, I know you can look back with rose-tinted glasses, and when you're young, the summers seem far longer, and as you get older, the summers seem a lot shorter. Time seems a lot shorter, doesn't it? And you can have a false perspective, and people will often say that to you, and this is what they'll try and persuade you and say, oh yes, no, it's a bad memory, you think that you had a lovely summer, but actually, facts and figures show that it rained constantly, but there was 2 days that the sun came out, and that's what you're remembering. People will try and persuade you otherwise. But we're only still in June. We've had the longest day, the summer solstice, yesterday as I record this. Beautiful weather down here on the south coast where I am, and it's absolutely fantastic. And they are still chemtrailing. You see the crisscrossing in the sky, but it doesn't seem to be as effective as it has been, like last year, incredibly effective for blocking out the sun. So it makes me wonder, being the skeptic that I am, if, they know what they're doing. They're spending millions on it. They've been practicing for donkeys. And then you look up and you think, well, how is it possible they're spraying and spraying and spraying and it's not actually working? Well, I've got another theory. It's just my own personal theory, but I'll explain it in a second if I can get the pipe lit. But before all of that, and by the way, my pipe smoking channel, The Vobe Show, has released another pipe smoking video if you're interested. And in it, I happen to mention two things because I wasn't quite sure if the viewers who sent things to me either were watching both channels or just this channel or just that channel, and I wanted to communicate with them and say thank you very much. And I think it's always nice to do a thank you. And so I will. I know some people get a bit het up when they're watching because I'm often lighting a pipe and it seems to delay the video. It's a Sunday. I'm chilled out. It's a relaxing. I should be finishing off the last bit of Biggleswick, The Town That Wouldn't Comply, my book. Basically, I've got the epilogue to do. And then it's done. But I also have, I'm not quite sure what I need to do, and I don't know the difference between, maybe somebody can tell me. What's the difference between an author's note, a foreword, and an introduction? Oh, and a preface. I know what a prologue is because there's a prologue in my book, and I know what an epilogue is, and I know what the chapters are. But perhaps somebody can tell me the difference between the author's note, the foreword, the introduction, and the preface. And there must be nuances on each of those. Anyway, I wanted to thank the lady, Jo, I think it is, who sent me a letter and said, she says, I know you like A.G. Street books, and she's got a copy of Sweet Acres, which is A.G. Street, by the way, is a farmer and a writer. He was also a broadcaster. That's him there. Anyway, he was writing in the 30s and 40s, charming books. And she said that she would forward on the book if I hadn't got it. So if you're watching, Jo, yes, please. Yes, please. I have emailed you. I haven't had a response. And I gave you... I need to give you a better address because I don't think the address you've got. I'll email you again, or I'll send you a letter. But yes, please, I would love that. Just doing my correspondence on the video. I hope you don't mind. And the second one was another lady called Rhonda, who wrote me a lovely letter. Oh no, that's not it. That's somebody else's letter. A nice card. And it says, I don't know, you can read that. It doesn't go in focus for some reason. Thank you for all your work, Rona. Rona is Rona, not Rhonda. Sorry about that, Rona. And she very kindly sent me A Commoner's Cottage, which is a book about the story of a cottage through the ages. Lovely book. Actually, I've got another book like this called Heartbreak Farm. It's all about farming and stuff. Beautifully illustrated. So I just wanted to say thank you for that, because people are just so kind and so generous. And I know some people just say, it makes me laugh, they say, oh, Richard, you know, you're always begging on the, you're begging. People do like to show appreciation for some of their favourite YouTubers. And often they forget how to do it, or don't know how to do it, or never done it before. And if they do, then I just remind people there is a link. And I've helped people out in the past when I was monetized on YouTube. And it's so many people saying, oh, you know, thanks very much. But of course, when things are completely free, as somebody said to me yesterday, they said, you know, people don't have any value. When it's free, they don't give it any value whatsoever. But we plod on. Anyway, going back to the main theme that I wanted to talk about, that was a little diversion, hope you don't mind. Not much you can do anyway, I suppose you fast forward through it. So we've got all this beautiful and sunny weather, and they're chemtrailing. And I wonder, we had rain last night, but it was only for like 10 minutes and one roll of thunder. And I wonder if the plan is, whatever they're spraying, it's either, you know, obviously to poison all of us, or it's to prevent rain on purpose to reduce the amount of water in the reservoirs, so that we have by the time we get to August, there'll be a hosepipe ban. And then, you know, I can imagine that the news agenda will start to rank up how we need to have standpipes in the streets. I mean, people have had that back in the 60s, you know, where people would turn up with buckets and things. And when you think about it, it's most likely to happen because they're building new houses at the rate of knots, aren't they? They're going up, but the infrastructure isn't really there. And also they're taking away the resources that a town and what have you would have had. So their water supply, now you get suddenly another 3,000 houses put in over here and another 3,000 houses. They're all drawing from the same reservoirs. Nobody's building any new reservoirs in this country. And you can see that eventually there's going to be shortages. And if they're spraying the sky to prevent rain, to prevent natural water from falling, and it's being dispersed in some way, then of course you can see that not only will they be preventing food from growing, but they may be using drought to get rid of a few more people, and of course the hot weather. And I'm not saying that is happening, I'm just saying it's a spurious theory of mine, sitting here smoking my pipe, you know, thinking what can they be up to. There's a meeting, I understand, in Parliament or in government or in the House of Commons or somewhere. Somebody sent me some information about the old government deciding, should we or should we not block out the sun? Well, let me ask you this question. Just how dense and how thick are you? Because that will probably form the answer you're likely to come up with. Oh, yes, I think that's a very good idea. Don't you agree, Carruthers? Yes, I think so. And what about you, Rummington Bar? Yes, I think that's a very good idea. Yes, we'll block out the sun. Obviously, most sensible policy according to this fake science that we've been given, and also all these backhanders that we've had. So, yeah, I'm sure they'll come to some agreement to do that. And these people, of course, should not be in power at all, should they? They should not be in power. And people like me, who've removed oneself as much as one can from their jurisdiction by getting rid of the surname and not answering their letters and asking them, who are you writing to? Then by doing that and saying, I'm not in your bloody game, thank you, your Monopoly game, I'm in real life. I'm on God's earth, thanks very much. I'm not on a map. I'm not on a postcode. I've renamed the house. I've taken the number off. I don't want to be part of your silly game and under your jurisdiction where I'm just a commoner and you in the House of Commons can sit there, yes, how can we be more penal to those people? No, thank you. And the more that people wake up and realise they can exit from that jurisdiction and actually start living a real life and not be an all caps name in a windowed envelope, the better, really. And once that system, which is crumbling, and once that system is gone, life for everybody will be fun, fair, and rejuvenating. Anyway, thank you for listening if you did, and if you didn't, well, I'm sorry you missed out. Till next time, thanks for watching. Goodbye.